Stop wasting money on these 12 smart purchases. Here is what makes this topic dangerous. It is not about obviously bad spending, gambling your savings on penny stocks, buying lottery tickets every week, financing a car you cannot afford. Those are obvious mistakes, and most people know to avoid them. What we are talking about today is something different. These are the purchases that feel responsible, the ones that feel like good decisions in the moment, the ones that come with a label like investment or smart or practical, the ones that a financial advisor, a fitness coach, a tech company, or a car dealership has specifically engineered to feel like the right choice. And that is what makes them so expensive. Because you never question them. Today we are walking through 12 of these purchases. Things that millions of Americans are spending money on right now in 2026 that are quietly making them poorer. With the data to back every single one of them up. Some of these will make you uncomfortable. A few might feel personal. Good. That means they're the ones worth paying attention to. Let's get into it. Purchase. #1. The gym membership you are not using. Let's start with the one that applies to more people than probably want to admit it. The average gym membership in 2024 cost approximately $69 per month, according to the Health and Fitness Association. That's $828 per year. And according to the same industry data, 67% of gym memberships in the United States go completely unused. Not underused, completely unused. And of the members who do go, 27% stop attending within the first 3 to 4 months, but nearly 18% wait up to a full year before canceling. Americans waste approximately $1.3 billion per year on gym memberships they never use. That is not a rounding error. That is $1 billion. Here is why this keeps happening. You sign up in January, full of genuine intention. You go for 3 weeks. Life gets busy. You miss a week. Then, 2. The gym starts to feel like a source of guilt rather than a destination. But canceling feels like admitting failure. And the monthly charge is small enough that it doesn't quite reach the pain threshold that forces action. So it sits there, month after month, on autopilot, charging you for a service you are not receiving. The smarter approach is not necessarily to cancel all fitness spending. It is to align your spending with your actual behavior rather than your aspirational behavior. If you genuinely go 3 or more times per week, the membership is probably worth it. If you go once or less, switch to a pay-per-visit model, use a community center, or commit to free home workout resources, which in 2026 are genuinely excellent. The goal is to stop paying for who you intend to be and start paying for who you actually are. Purchase. #3. Extended warranties on electronics and appliances. Extended warranties are one of the most profitable products retailers sell, which should tell you something about who they benefit. When you buy a television, a laptop, a refrigerator, or a washing machine, the salesperson will offer you a protection plan. They will frame it as peace of mind. What they will not tell you is that their commission on that protection plan is often higher than their commission on the product itself. Retailers push extended warranties aggressively because the profit margins on them are enormous, estimated at 50 to 80% by industry analysts. The math rarely works in the consumer's favor. Most electronics come with a manufacturer's warranty of 1 to 2 years that already covers the most likely failure window. If the product survives the first 2 years, it will typically survive for years more before needing repair. And when repairs do become necessary, the cost is often comparable to or less than what you paid for the extended warranty over that same period. On top of that, many premium credit cards, including several that charge no annual fee, include built-in extended warranty protection that automatically doubles the manufacturer's warranty on eligible purchases, up to 1 additional year, at no cost to you. If you are already getting that protection for free through your credit card, Paying for an extended warranty at the register is paying twice for the same coverage. The smarter move: decline the extended warranty. Put what you would have spent into a dedicated repair savings fund instead. Over time, that fund builds into genuine self-insurance that pays you back, instead of padding a retailer's margin. Purchase #4. Buying a brand new car instead of certified pre-owned. This is one of the most expensive financial decisions most Americans make, and it gets made based on feeling rather than math. A new car in 2026 costs an average of $47,000 to $50,000, according to J.D. Power and Kelley Blue Book data. And from the moment you drive it off the lot, it begins losing value at a rate that should concern any rational buyer. A new vehicle typically loses 20% of its value in its first year of ownership. Within 3 years, it has lost 30 to 40%. On a $50,000 car, that is $15,000 to $20,000 in value that evaporates in 3 years, value you already paid for and cannot get back. The alternative, a certified pre-owned vehicle that is 3 to 5 years old, has already absorbed the steepest part of that depreciation curve. The previous owner took the hit. You buy the car at its post-depreciation price, which averages around $26,000 in the current market. The car typically still has modern features, safety systems, and in many cases still has remaining manufacturer's warranty. According to We Buy Any Car's 2026 analysis, even after accounting for higher used car loan interest rates, which average around 11% compared to roughly 7% for new, the 5-year total cost of ownership is $20,000 to $25,000 lower when buying used versus buying new. The caveat worth acknowledging: if you plan to keep a car for 10 or more years, buy new, and qualify for low-rate manufacturer financing, the depreciation argument weakens. Spread over a decade, the first-year depreciation hit becomes less relevant. But for the majority of Americans who trade in or sell within 5 years, buying new is one of the most reliable ways to overpay for transportation. Purchase #5. Daily premium coffee as a habit. Not a treat. Before I say this, let me acknowledge, I am not here to tell you that you cannot enjoy a coffee. Life should have pleasures. This is not about deprivation. This is about the difference between an intentional spending choice and a mindless daily habit, and what the math looks like when you run it out. The average specialty coffee drink at a major chain in 2026 costs between $6 and $8. If you buy one every workday, that is 5 per week, approximately $250 per year. At $7 average, that is $1,150 per year. If you buy one every single day, including weekends, you are at $2,555 per year. Now let's apply the only test that matters for a financial channel. What does that money do if you redirect it? $1,750 per year invested in a simple S&P 500 index fund at the historical average return of 10% over 25 years grows to approximately $186,000. That is what the daily coffee habit actually costs in long-term wealth, not $1,750, but nearly $200,000 in foregone compounding. The point is not to never buy coffee. The point is to make it a deliberate choice rather than an autopilot one. Brewing at home 5 days a week and treating yourself on weekends cuts the annual cost from $750 to roughly $400 to $500. Same enjoyment, far less financial consequence. Habits are expensive not because of what they cost today, but because of what they cost over decades of compounding. Purchase #6. Paying for premium gas when your car doesn't require it. This one costs Americans billions of dollars per year and is almost entirely based on a misconception. Premium gasoline, typically 91 or 93 octane, is designed for high-performance engines with higher compression ratios that require it to function correctly. If your car's manual says premium is required, you should use it. But if your car's manual says premium is recommended, or says nothing at all, you are almost certainly wasting money. The AA conducted a study specifically examining whether using premium fuel in cars designed for regular provides any measurable benefit. The conclusion: for the vast majority of vehicles that recommend but do not require premium, there is no meaningful improvement in fuel economy, acceleration, or engine longevity. The car's engine management system adjusts for lower octane fuel automatically. The price premium for premium fuel runs approximately 50 to 70 cents more per gallon than regular in most markets. On a 15-gallon tank filled once per week, that is $7.50 to $10.50 extra per fill-up, $390 to $546 extra per year. On a car that does not require it, every single dollar of that is wasted. Check your owner's manual. If it says required, use it. If it says recommended or has no specification, use regular. The engine will not notice. Your bank account will. Purchase. #7. Paying for more life insurance than you actually need. Life insurance is a legitimate and important financial product. The problem is not having it. The problem is having the wrong kind or the wrong amount. And life insurance agents have historically had strong financial incentives to sell you more than you need. Whole life insurance, also called permanent life insurance, universal life, or variable life, combines a death benefit with a savings or investment component. Insurance companies and agents market this aggressively. The policies generate significantly higher commissions for agents than term life insurance does, which creates a built-in incentive to push them on clients. For most middle-class Americans, whole life insurance is an expensive and inefficient product. The premiums are 5 to 15 times higher than comparable term life coverage. The investment returns on the cash value component are typically lower than what you would earn in a simple index fund. And the policies are complex, with fees and surrender charges that reduce transparency. For the vast majority of working adults with dependents, term life insurance is the right product. A 20-year term policy covering 10 to 12 times your annual income, purchased in your 30s when you are healthy, typically costs $25 to $50 per month. It provides the protection your family needs during the years when they need it most, while your children are growing up, while your mortgage is outstanding, while your retirement savings are still being built. By the time the term expires, your kids are grown, your house is closer to paid off, and your investment portfolio has grown to a point where the life insurance need is significantly reduced. If you currently hold a whole life policy, have a fee-only financial advisor, someone who does not earn commissions, review it honestly. For many people, the answer is to cancel the whole life policy, redirect the premium savings into a low-cost index fund, and purchase a term policy for pure death benefit protection. Purchase #8. Buying organic for everything without understanding what it means organic food can be a perfectly legitimate choice based on personal values, environmental concerns, or taste preference. This is not an argument against organic food. This is an argument against spending a premium on organic for products where the premium generates no meaningful benefit. Organic produce typically costs 20 to 50% more than conventional produce at major grocery chains. The Environmental Working Group publishes an annual list called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. The 12 produce items with the highest pesticide residue levels in conventional form, and the 15 with the lowest. Buying organic for the Dirty Dozen, which includes items like strawberries, spinach, grapes, and bell peppers, is a reasonable choice if pesticide exposure is your concern. Buying organic for the Clean 15, which includes avocados, pineapples, onions, and asparagus, provides essentially no additional safety benefit over conventional, because these items naturally carry very low pesticide residues, regardless of farming method. For a household spending $800 per month on groceries, an indiscriminate premium of 30% on all organic products adds $240 per month, $2,880 per year. A targeted approach, buying organic selectively on the highest risk items while purchasing conventional for low-risk produce, can reduce that premium to $30 to $60 per month while capturing most of the actual health benefit. The savings are real, and the trade-off is close to zero. Purchase #9. Carrying a balance on a rewards credit card. Rewards credit cards are marketed as tools that pay you back, and they can be, but only under one specific condition: you pay the full balance every single month. The moment you carry a balance forward, the math reverses so dramatically that it should stop you cold. Here is the calculation. The best flat cashback cards offer approximately 2% back on all purchases. The average credit card APR in Q1 2026 is 21.52% for accounts actively carrying a balance. If you are earning 2% cashback and paying 21.52% interest on a carried balance, your net return is -19.52%. You are not winning rewards. You are paying 19.52 cents for every dollar of reward you think you are collecting. This is the most elegant trap in consumer finance. The reward points create a positive psychological signal. You feel like you are getting something, while the interest charges quietly extract an amount that is 10 times larger in the opposite direction. The entire rewards model, as we have covered in a previous video, is fundamentally funded by the interest charges paid by cardholders who carry balances. The rewards cardholders who pay in full collect the gains. The balance carriers fund them. If you carry a credit card balance right now, the highest return financial move available to you is paying it off, not earning more rewards points. Every dollar of high-interest credit card debt you eliminate is a guaranteed 21% return. No investment offers that reliably. Pay the balance. Then, and only then, use the rewards card as a pure payment tool, paying it in full every single month, treating it exactly like a debit card. Purchase #10. Paying for convenience fees you could eliminate. This is a category rather than a single product, and it describes a pattern that quietly extracts hundreds to thousands of dollars per year from most households. Convenience fees are the small additions charged for doing things the easy way. The $4.99 processing fee for paying a bill online instead of by mail. The $3.50 out-of-network ATM fee. The $8 delivery fee plus $3 service fee plus tip on a $15 meal order. The $25 last-minute booking fee. The $15 per month for a savings account that should be free. The $9.99 per month for cloud storage you could get free with a different provider. Individually, these feel trivial. Collectively, they are significant. The average American pays between $1,200 and $2,000 per year in fees that could be eliminated or dramatically reduced with modest planning. ATM fees alone cost Americans approximately $1.6 billion per year, according to banking industry data. Food delivery fees have exploded as a category. A meal that costs $15 at the restaurant can cost $30 to $35 by the time delivery fees, service fees, and tip are added, which is a 100% to 130% markup on the base cost. The solution is not to eliminate all convenience. Sometimes paying for convenience is the right call. The solution is to stop paying convenience fees on autopilot without consciously choosing them. Use your bank's in-network ATM and pay zero fees. Cook at home most nights and use delivery as a deliberate treat. Set up free bill autopay through your bank rather than paying the biller's online processing fee. These are not sacrifices. They are conscious choices that keep hundreds of dollars per year in your pocket instead of in a fee processor's revenue line. Purchase #11. Buying too much house too soon. Homeownership is one of the most effective wealth-building tools available to middle-class Americans. This is not an argument against buying a home. It is an argument against buying more home than your financial situation can genuinely support. A mistake that the mortgage industry has historically been enthusiastic about helping you make. When you get pre-approved for a mortgage, the bank tells you the maximum loan amount you qualify for based on your income and credit profile. Most people treat that number as the target rather than the ceiling. But the pre-approval amount is calculated based on what the bank is willing to lend you, not what is financially healthy for your life. Lenders in 2026 will approve you for a monthly payment that consumes up to 43% of your gross monthly income through what is called the debt-to-income ratio. At 43% of gross income going to housing and other debt, most households are stretched uncomfortably thin after taxes and basic living expenses. The guideline that financial planners consistently recommend is keeping your total housing payment, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance at 25% or below of your take-home pay. Not gross income. Take-home pay. On a household taking home $6,000 per month, that means a maximum housing payment of $1,500. At current rates and the average home price of $427,000, that $1,500 limit typically supports a home priced around $280,000 to $320,000, with 20% down. Buying at the top of what you are approved for leaves no margin for the unexpected. Job changes, medical expenses, home repairs, interest rate changes on adjustable rate mortgages. The house that stretches your budget to the limit on day one will still stretch it in year 5 when your income might be higher. But it will also punish you severely if anything goes wrong in the meantime. Buy the house that fits your current financial reality comfortably. You can always move up when the math genuinely supports it. Purchase #12. Cheap products that break immediately and get replaced repeatedly. This one is counterintuitive, which is exactly why it belongs on this list. Buying cheap is not the same as being frugal, and paying more upfront is not the same as being financially irresponsible. There is a concept in personal finance sometimes called the boots theory. The idea that a person with enough money to buy a quality pair of boots pays $150 once and wears them for a decade. A person without enough money buys a $30 pair, watches them fall apart in a year, buys another $30 pair, and spends $300 over 10 years for an inferior product and 10 times the hassle. The premium item turns out to be far cheaper over time. This pattern repeats across dozens of product categories. A $40 blender that breaks in 8 months and gets replaced 3 times costs $120 over 2 years. A $90 blender that runs for 6 years costs $90. The cheap kitchen knives that need replacing every 2 years cost more over a decade than one quality set maintained properly. The $15 phone case that cracks in a month costs more annually than a $35 case that lasts 2 years. The skill here is identifying which categories reward quality investment and which do not. For items you use daily, items with moving parts that wear out, tools, cookware, footwear, and durable goods with a long expected useful life, spending more for quality often makes sense. For trend-driven items, things you will use infrequently, or products where quality differences are minimal, buying cheaply is genuinely smarter. The mistake is applying a blanket cheap is always better philosophy without running the actual lifetime cost math. Before we close, I want to name something that connects all 12 of these purchases, because it's the real lesson underneath the list. Every single item on this list has one thing in common. In the moment of purchase, it felt like the right decision. The gym membership felt like an investment in your health. The streaming subscriptions felt like affordable entertainment. The extended warranty felt like responsible protection. The new car felt like a reward you had earned. The daily coffee felt like a small, harmless pleasure. The whole life policy felt like sophisticated financial planning. These are not purchases made by irrational people. They are purchases made by normal people who are operating on incomplete information, misaligned incentives from the people selling to them, and the very human tendency to evaluate decisions based on how they feel in the moment, rather than what the data says over time. Changing that requires one habit more than any other: calculating the long-term cost of spending decisions before you make them. Not just the monthly cost or the upfront cost, but the compounding cost of money redirected away from wealth building and toward a product or service that is not delivering real value. That calculation, done consistently, is what separates people who drift financially from people who build intentionally. Let's close with the full list one more time. Fast. The gym membership you are not using. The subscription pile quietly charging your card each month. Extended warranties on electronics and appliances. Buying new instead of certified pre-owned. The daily premium coffee habit at scale. Premium gas in a car that runs perfectly on regular. Whole life insurance when term life is what you actually need. Buying organic indiscriminately across all products. Carrying a balance on a rewards credit card. Convenience fees paid on autopilot. Buying too much house based on maximum mortgage approval. And cheap products that get replaced repeatedly instead of quality items that last. Your action from this video: pick one. Just one. Not all 12, that's overwhelming. Pick the one that felt most uncomfortably personal when you heard it. Go audit that specific spending category this week. Run the actual math on what it costs you annually. Then decide, consciously, with the numbers in front of you, whether it is worth it. Sometimes the answer will be yes, and that is completely fine, but it should be a decision, not a default. Drop a comment below. Which one hit closest to home? I genuinely want to know. And if there's something you stopped spending money on that changed your financial picture, share it. The comment section on this channel is one of the most useful sources of real-world personal finance insight I have found. Subscribe for a new video every week, and see you in the next one.